bring out the casts of One Piece! What's going on?
Hello.
Do we have enough chairs for you guys? Wow.
Oh, look at you guys.
Oh, wow. All right, we already gave the rules.
Okay.
So,
Aloha.
all right, if you have any questions, I want you guys to line up to the mic now.
Yes.
But, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, now. But I want you to keep your questions to a minimum. No, one per question. On episode 44, no, we don't want that because there's so many of you in the room. Just keep it like minimum because they want to.
What's your favorite pudding flavor?
Exactly. Yes. So,
Butterscotch.
That's good.
I hate working with voice actors.
Anyway, Scotch.
Scotch without the butters.
Yeah, Scotch. That's my favorite flavor.
Line up to the mic now and let's get the show rolling. Look at them. Oh, God.
Should we introduce ourselves?
Yes! Yeah, go ahead. Wait a minute, no.
We
Yeah,
should
go ahead.
probably do that.
No, one person said they didn't want to introduce themselves.
That was
Go
me.
ahead.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw anybody underneath the bus, but somebody said I do want to introduce.
Oh, well then. Hi, I'm Ian Sinclair. I play Brooke.
I'm Luci Christian, and I'm a talented thief who steals from pirates. The name's Nami.
I'm Colleen Clinkenbeard, and I am Monkey D. Luffy in the Funimation Crunchyroll dub.
I'm Erika Schroeder, and I'm the German dub of One Piece. Nah, I'm just kidding. I was the poor kid's Luffy. And now I'm Spuckin with all of you, which has been so much fun.
This is our first panel with both Luffys.
Double the Luffys.
The two Luffys. Hi, I'm J. Michael Tatum, and I play Inaru, or Inel, as some of you know him. I also play
There he
Dalton in the
is.
Drum Island arc. If they're lantern-jawed and deep-voiced, I usually play them.
Yeah.
Does everybody know how the 4Kids Funimation dub thing worked out? Everybody is familiar with that?
You understand this?
Dubbed 20 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, and you did the first 140
40
episodes. And then Funimation came in and dubbed from episode 1 to 1,000 something. So make sure to ask her really detailed questions. Later arcs.
They're so good.
Her Japanese is flawless.
Oh, she's so
Yeah,
good.
konnichiwa.
Did I say how much I like working with voice actors? It's always a blast. So let's start it off right now with audience questions. Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
what's your name and what's your question?
I'm Eliza, and what's it feel like to be part of one of the most important animes in history currently?
Aw.
Wow.
How does it feel?
It feels amazing. I'll start. Honestly, it just feels lucky. It feels like winning the lottery. We had no idea that we had the winning numbers. And then we found out later that it was something that was going to be a part of our life and change our lives forever. And it was actually much later because I feel like the West didn't really catch on to the One Piece craze until the pandemic, really?
After the pandemic?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like that.
Kind of fizzled a little over here, even though we knew it was awesome, and Japan knew it was awesome. So if you were in it from the beginning and you were always hardcore One Piece, way to go, you.
But you got the part because you have a pirate name.
Yeah,
And I got the part because I have a pirate name.
We're pirates. We were just pirates.
Clinkenbeard.
I love that. I know Clinkenbeard.
I'm Erika D. Schroeder.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
It stands for
Is that a true story?
That's awesome.
crazy
That's
romance.
I'm changing my middle name immediately. Sorry.
No, you had me really believing that you got the role because you have a pirate name.
Makes sense to me.
Perfect. That's why I make you sign the beard in the skull. I always say that's for her.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's awesome.
It's truly, truly great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And that's $15.
Yeah!
Hi, what's your name? What's your question?
Hi, I'm Lucas. My main question is for the 4Kids voice actor of Luffy. Back in Thriller, working with like dubbed and stuff like that, you guys had specific words cannot say, like Zoro, like Zolo.
Yes.
How was it? Because comparing to like the script, is it like differently saying Zoro or Zolo with the script writing?
We saw the adaptation. I mean, back in the day, they did not show us the direct translation. Now, like with all the dubs that I work on now, we get to see the translation on the right column and the adaptation in the middle, and then the character name and time code on the left. But we were aware of the change, and I think they thought it was like an impingement on the other franchise. I don't know why they made that decision. It was probably to avoid, I think they thought lawsuits, but I actually can't speak for them because I was just not on the writer's side or on the producer's side. But sometimes there were words that I had to say that I was like, this is questionable. You know what I'm saying?
Like the raft tail.
Like the one where, with the crocodile, right, with the sand, whatever. I had to say, next time I'll wet my fist so it'll go right through you. I remember being like, do you want me to say it? Like, are you sure you want me to say this? Because then they would like really highly censor other things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. We weren't aware too much of the property. Like we were schooled, like there were meetings. I don't know if you guys had this too, but like we had meetings outside of the recording studio for the first couple of weeks, like around a round table, like you would like the first week of working on a play or something like that.
Wow.
But then, yeah, it was really cool. They were there and kind of answering a lot of questions at the beginning. And then after about the third week, they were like, we are out of here. You know, they kind of checked out completely. But no, it was a blast because as you see, like, voice actors in general are great people, a ton of fun to work with, and we had a great time working on it. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, before we get to our next question, I have a quick question, and we're going to start with Ian and work our way down. I've been told by a lot of anime fans that they are learning Japanese by watching Japanese and reading the subtitles. With you guys reading scripts.
That's a bad idea.
Oh.
No, because for real, the words that are in the subtitles are not the exact words that are being used. So you're gonna learn wrong words and then like go to Japan and look kind of dumb.
Okay, so what I was going to ask you guys, are you, we're going to start with you and go all the way down. Are you learning Japanese?
日本語が少しわかります。でもまだ上手じゃありません。
I totally agree!
What Ian said.
What Ian said.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah.
My sister had a minor in Japanese, and
that was
but
so
no,
cool.
I have not spoken any.
No, I mean, we obviously, there are little things here and there that I think we can pick up. But yeah, like, I like whenever Nami's like, Luffy, I'm like, I know what that is. I know what she's saying.
I have a story actually. So my husband is deeply fluent in Japanese. He actually lived there for several years, worked there, so he teaches me a little bit, much to his chagrin because I'm not a fast learner. But I'll hone in on certain words that I'll hear. Like he'll teach me little slang words, and I'm like, that's fun. I'm going to say that. And then we would go, like this was a true story. Years ago, we were at a green room at some con, and the Japanese guests were there. Very important Japanese guests, I might add. And, you know, they tend to keep to themselves because, I mean, we're all American. They're terrified of us. Who can blame them? So they keep to themselves, and they're kind of, you know, they're tired and everything. So, but Brandon would just go over there and start speaking to them in Japanese, and they're like, oh my God, you know, and they just light him up, you know. And so he's like, babe, come over and say hi to them. And I'm like, which is a very, very polite way of saying, like, I have a little bit of Japanese, but I'm not very good at it yet. And the older gentleman in the group, who was clearly the boss, the leader, the one everyone deferred to, turned to me in perfect English, said, you sound really good. And I was like, I had just learned a really inappropriate slang word for thank you, which is azas. Don't use it. It's basically arigato gozaimasu, but it's gutted, and so it's like I don't know, it's like your boss, you know, saying something, you're like, thanks, bro. Like, it's just inappropriate. You would never say it to someone you just met, let alone someone who's your elder. And so this guy is like, and I'm like, what the shit? He's like, oh, you sound really good. And I'm like, oh, us. The whole room stopped. And all the people in the circle kind of looked at each other. Brandon, my husband, looks at me like, oh, God. And that was when he knew. He upped. And so just sat there in the moment, and suddenly the gentleman turned to me and he was like, everyone else was like, and then for the rest of the weekend, anytime I saw any of the other Japanese guests, I'd be like, Michael! Huzzah!
Was that the first time you called him your husband on a panel?
No, I've called him. What do you mean?
You just got married.
Oh, that's right. We've been married for years, but we just had the ceremony. Yeah, we've been together for 10 years. We're common law in Texas because it's 5 years. But we had the ceremony. Yeah. We got gay married a couple weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. It was gay. It was Scottish. It was floral. It was lovely. Yeah. He's in one piece too. He should be up here. Yeah. So anyway, so answer your question. No.
All right, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Philip.
Hi.
If you could answer in character, that'd be great. But like, what was your favorite line to record as your characters?
All right, Ian,
That
go
thing you
first.
just love to say.
No.
You're sitting next to me.
So? No. I'll go next.
Well, I'm taking the easy way out. Luffy, help me.
Yep.
Don't encourage her.
So is it our favorite line that we said, or favorite line to say, or favorite line from the show?
What? All of that. Whatever.
Those are 3 different things.
Pick it, though.
Pick one.
Oh, one of my favorites is when Luffy was calling Zoro 3-sword style, and then he's like, that's not an insult. He goes, oh, 4-sword style.
That's right.
I love that line.
I have a Luffy real quick. Because we just watched it, and I giggled and I giggled so hard. It's during the race with the boats, and Luffy is with Sanji with the Foxy Pirates, and he built a terrible boat. It's terrible, and he's like, "Why are they laughing?" And Sanji's like, "Because you built a stupid boat. It's like a piece of flotsam." And Colleen goes, "Flotsam." Okay, now you do a line.
That's funny though. 4-sword style is up there, but I think for whatever reason I still love. Oh man, I thought I was gonna get to see a goat.
My son recently played for me a very infamous, I'm not sure, scene where I just very despairingly yelled meat. A very long time, like, meat! Like, and he was like, Mom, you did that. Good job. I did.
Good job, Brad.
Mom
It was
got
a special
paid to
bonding
do
moment
that.
because he's
Right.
watched all of yours. He's
Oh,
watched
has he
it.
really?
He started with mine, and then
Traitor.
after the after the second DVD, he asked my husband like, "Can we get the third one?" And my husband was like, looked it up online. It was like $150. He was like, "No." So I come down the next morning, and he's like watching Crunchyroll. He's like, I don't know, maybe 20 episodes in, and he turns around and he goes like this. He goes, like he's done something terrible, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Mom." And I know, and I was like, "It's okay." You were like, I'm excited. I was like, "Of course I want you to see it. Like, watch the whole thing." But it was adorable because he thought I was going to be upset. No, but he's watched the whole thing. He loves you all very much.
Oh, that
That's
is so
your
sweet.
version. Is it on DVD? That's how you get your version?
I actually don't know. I haven't. I mean, I have them because like 4Kids gave me a
Yeah.
couple of them. But I think you can get them like on eBay. But I think they're like incredibly expensive.
Right, I would think.
And there's probably like the black market version somewhere, but I don't really know.
You probably,
It's just
probably
a
have an
shame
easier
that
time
you guys
downloading
are not
them than
even
actually like
given
purchasing
DVDs.
them.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite line? Just like Tatum?
Do I?
Oh,
I love Inaru's laugh because it's ridiculous, the yahaha. But my favorite thing to do in that voice for the longest time when we were recording it, like years ago, was to just go through the drive-thru that was near the studio and order in that voice, just to kind of keep in practice. I used to love to prank people like that. Whoever worked anywhere near like Funimation back in the day, like was just not impressed with any of us. We all do it. So I'd go through and like, yes, I would like a number 6 with curly fries. And then we'd shake. They're like, would you like the supersize? Yeah.
No, thank you.
I'm the god. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Hannah. So I just started watching One Piece a month ago.
So you're almost finished.
I actually just got to Alabasta. I'm at episode 101. My favorite character is Ace. And nothing bad will ever happen to him.
That's right, nothing.
But so I was wondering, as someone who's just starting out, what's plot or an arc or at least a character that you guys think that I should be excited to find out about?
Anyone but Ian Stark.
Your mom.
We all have our favorites.
I say my favorite is Water 7 Ennie's Lobby,
Yeah.
but I'm not in. I think that one's really good.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's coming.
agreed.
Water 7 Ennie's Lobby.
Yeah, it's really good.
You'll get there and it'll be like, oh my gosh. And then
Yeah.
it'll be like, oh my god.
I've already cried so much.
Yeah.
So good. It's so good.
Can I phone a friend? I'll have you answer again. You answer again. What is another part that they should look forward to?
Like to get,
Egghead.
Yeah.
Those are my two favorites.
you
Water
go.
7 Ennie's Lobby and Egghead.
I mean, Wano though.
I love Wano, and there are moments in Wano that are like epic, and that we were all waiting for that. But I will say, Egghead has the same like complexity of story that Water 7 Ennie's Lobby did, and I love that. I really like complex storylines, and it has the awesome animation from Wano.
So great.
It's just like it just gets better and better. Start at Dressrosa, and it's just.
Yeah.
What was that? I don't think they heard you.
You know, we were all like blown away by Wano, and then it was one of those like, oh, I don't know how you're gonna top Wano, and then everyone would come to your line going, no, bro, Egghead is gonna blow it out of the water. And now people are coming up like, oh, dude, Elbath. Oh my God, Elbath.
For a laugh, at one point we switched bodies,
Oh yeah.
and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's really fun.
That whole bit.
Yeah.
For phone a friend, you should say Don Flamingo.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? All those answers are really great, but I'm very partial to the Drum Island arc because I love Tony Chopper. Tony Chopper.
Yeah,
It's just
great.
this is a really sweet arc, very relevant arc
So
too in some
great.
ways.
Which crew members did you have? Did you get?
Oh, a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the one that like was the last one that joined the crew before
Did you
I
get
left.
Frankie?
Yeah, that was my. I don't
Yeah,
know
we
if
had
that-
Frank. I think we did have Frankie.
Frankie's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm almost positive. It might have been the last one. It might have been the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
we get
such a
Frankie.
long time. Oh, then maybe I didn't. Maybe I've just seen too many pictures and too many cosplayers of Frankie.
All right, thank you.
It was
Hannah.
Robin?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We did have Nico Robin, that I know, because that was Nell Balaban. Because
All right.
Nell and I were in Jane Eyre together on Broadway. And then we ended up being in One Piece together, and we were like, how did this happen?
Broadway?
Yeah, I was in the original cast of Jane Eyre, and Nell Balaban was Nico Robin, and and then we ended up in.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have a whole other panel when you get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to our next question, I have a question for
Sorry.
our panel. No, don't be sorry.
No, Dan.
Oh. Hi, buddy. Because he's going to bring up my question, but it's like your fan base, you have this age limit to a much, much older age limit. It must blow you guys away. And not only that, but the dedication your fan base has of coming here, dressing up in cosplay, it must touch you guys. And I know we talked about this before on other panels, but I mean, for our new audience and people that never been to a Comic-Con before, how does it make you each feel individually when you see someone dressed up as a character you portray?
It's so fun. It's so great. But I get it. Like it's outside of us. It's we are a part of the party. Like Oda has thrown the party for us all. And I think, you love the story. You love the story, you love the characters. And we are all a part of that. Like we get it.
There's so much less ownership than people think, right? It's like they're all our friends, and it's like when they dress up as our characters, it feels like kind of like a warm hug from a friend, really.
Oh,
You don't. It doesn't feel like you're dressed up as me. It feels like you're dressed up as my favorite character, and I love to. Like each one that comes by is like, oh, I remember that. I remember that.
Yes.
You look like one of my family members. Hi.
Hey, buddy, what's your name?
Oh, it's so hot.
Can we have a volunteer help him? Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
That's a better idea.
Perfect.
Fun, like solving problems.
Yes.
That's why you should be on our crew.
My name is Maxwell Barge, and I have a question for all of you, and it is, what was your favorite fight scene?
Fight
Oh.
scene.
What do you want to start?
That we were in, or just best fight scene in
Just best
one?
fight scene.
Okay, what would you like to start the question?
Actually, Colleen, at this point, I think you are the one who has seen the most at this point. Yeah, I've been reading it and then watching it, so I'll read an arc and I'll watch an arc. I refuse to watch past what Brooke knows when I'm recording it, so I am behind. But where I am... It's harder for me to answer because I read it and I go through it, so I'm going to be all nitpicky about it. I actually loved the two of them because it was this huge build-up and we were like, how are we going to fight NL? How is he going to do? And then just like, oh yeah, he's rubber.
Yeah, that was going to be my answer too, because just the look on Inaru's face, it's like, this was worth 40 episodes. Just like the slow pan, and he's like, oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. Beautiful. I'll go with that.
For Nami, most recently, I really loved the Nami and Usopp versus Ulti in Wano was so good. That was a serious fight. That was serious. And Nami, like, it was dire. That was great. For Nami, it was great.
I do not pick the Inaru fight because I was like legitimately mad at you for years.
Yeah. We have beef with Inaru.
When we recorded that fight, we were recording One Piece, in 3 different studios at the same time.
Yes.
So I would go from studio to studio to studio from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Like, I mean, I was recording all day and all night and directing at the same time, and I think I was writing at that time too. So it was too much. And so, yeah, it was like your name was a bad word for a little bit. Chasing him.
What did I do?
I chased you up that vine with a ball of gold on my hand for 40 episodes. I was awful.
She did though. It was great.
That's great.
For a while, Katakuri was my favorite fight. And I know I have to say Kaido, because 5th year, like I have to. And that is his most amazing moment so far. But I still have feelings for Katakuri. He's just like I relate to him as a person more than most of the One Piece villains. Like most of the One Piece villains are villainous.
Yeah.
Like I do not forgive you. And with Katakuri, it's a little bit murky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask 2 things. I'm gonna pretend I'm an audience member and go, how did you do that from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
It hurt.
It
Oh
hurt.
my God, did you have any tricks? Like, I had one that I came up with, yeah, which is like going up and down the scale, like, you know, like a, which is what you do with like a singing
true vocal
And that,
warm-up.
if you did that like 5 times, every like 8 to 10 cues, it would bring the vocal cords together. And also you could tell if you were hurting yourself because if you went, you know, it's like you had like a yodel in there, you'd be like, okay, time to stop, you know?
You sound like a professional. I'm not a
No,
professional.
you are a professional.
Y'all wait until
10 hours. I don't know how you did that. I could never do more than 3 hours at a time.
Yeah, tell him, Colleen.
Tell him, Colleen.
Do it.
Tell him how
Show
to do it.
him how you warm up.
I want to know.
I go la la la.
I come into her and I'm like, hey, I got this screaming role. And really, please teach me how to get you scream so well. What do you do to warm up? She goes, ah.
But there's a reason. Tell him why.
Well, I don't know if I'm answering this one right, but I will say that my trick is don't do it. I go to Starbucks and I get a drink with dairy.
No.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to have dairy and
Before voice
voice act. But dairy makes mucus,
Coats your throat.
which is why you're not supposed to do it, but it coats your throat with
Yeah,
mucus.
I mean, it's not a
So
bad
then you're
idea.
shredding a layer of mucus before
Yeah.
you get to throat.
I just can't do caffeine. Like,
Oh, well,
like
decaf
milk,
latte.
dairy's fine with me, but
Yeah.
like, no caffeine.
So then you're shredding mucus before you get to throat, and then after that, I'm just turning it into cheeseburger. That's all.
That's a good trick. I'm gonna.
But she, yeah, with all that she does, like she doesn't record 10 to 10 anymore.
I'm sorry, did you say cheeseburger?
I mean, it gets shredded,
Oh, okay.
and the dairy gives it the cheese.
I told her when we recorded.
You're talking to a guy on a diet, and I hear cheeseburger constantly. Yeah, you heard cheeseburger.
When
Okay.
we recorded Whole Cake, I was like, I loved you so much, and Luffy made me cry with I'm not gonna eat and all of that. And she's like, I'm so glad. I could not speak for like a day after that.
Thank you, Max.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and, you know, I gotta say, I pointed out to Ian, he had such a smile on his face, just standing there talking to you guys. Give him a round of applause for Max, man. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, hi.
You look awesome.
You look so good.
You're my favorite. I want you on my crew.
I know I'm gonna be there one day.
Yes, someday.
So my question
No,
is.
what's your name first?
Oh, sorry. My name's Ella. And my question is, when Bon Clay meets Brooke, and there is a moment, will it be pre or post Brooke? Will we get skeleton or will we get on?
That's the coolest question ever.
What an
thank you.
interesting
Because he's my favorite.
Whoa.
Right? So like we're kind of like thinking, is he gonna be a skeleton? Because he technically can do the whole body, but will he be?
Yeah, so
Like,
it doesn't
is
have
it
to be
DNA?
something that's
Is it
visually
D-
seen. It might be a DNA.
Will
Is it
yeah.
DNA or is it?
Okay, hold it. Before we get there, wait a second. Before we get there, just remember, we have 10 minutes left.
Okay.
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 We're gonna
It's a
do
great question, and we're going to be sitting around for a long time.
Yeah.
That's
You
like
can ponder it,
legitimately
'cause
gives
it's
me
a
something to think about.
fun.
Thank you.
I love that question.
I don't
Clearly
know.
we don't know the
We don't know.
answers,
That's brilliant, though. And I'm going to have to do some research.
Yes.
Like I will.
What is taking
No,
over?
it's a fantastic question. It's like quantum
So
physics.
good.
Hi, great.
What's your name?
Isabella.
Hi, Isabella.
And my question is, do you guys have a favorite Sanrio character?
Favorite who now?
Do we have a favorite Sanrio character?
This
That's
is
Hello
that.
Kitty.
This is cinnamon roll, right? Yeah.
Hello
I'm gonna have this
Kitty.
answer.
I don't know it.
Hanamaru. I always loved Hanamaru.
Anybody else know?
I have 2 French bulldogs. Does that count? They probably fart a little
That's your
more.
favorite Sanrio character.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
How adorable. You're my favorite Sanrio character.
Well, thank you.
Hi, my name's Abby. Who do you think has the saddest One Piece backstory?
Robin.
Yeah.
I mean, Nami is rough.
Nami. I just watched that. I just watched that. Nami's backstory.
I mean, Chopper. Chopper has a really rough one too.
Yeah.
I think anyone has a like a fun. No one comes from like a good place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Luffy's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came from a barrel. No trauma.
What's your name?
Hi, Carlin. Wonderful to meet all of you, and thank you so much for coming out. Do you all have, you kind of touched on it already, do you guys all have like either a warm-up routine or some type of thing that you're doing? Yes! That you do to like warm up or get into character or anything like that?
Yeah. Do you have something?
Yes, we have a nitro cold brew machine up at work, and I do a shot about yay big, and then I just kind of, and I warn the directors at this point, I'm like, hey man, I respond in character, I get weird, I'm sorry, it's just, and they're always like, go for it. I'm like, okay, and then I get in the corner and I just, into the corner. And then, well, like, the thing that I love about Brooke at this point is there's when you're doing a role for a long time, like, at first you, like, feel like you need to work your performance into the character, and now at this point, we're not in control of them. They just come out. They just come out.
They're there.
And so, yeah, so, like, in the beginning, it was, oh, how am I going to say this? Now I just, hi, and then I turn off the front part of my brain, and I just answer when someone talks to me.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, but they got some.
I just say, well, honestly, I go, Luffy, don't be an idiot. And that is
It's your key phrase. It's your key phrase.
It puts me right in the very bossy, I know what I'm doing kind of.
I'm really only warming up for Pokemon these days, only because I never know ahead of time if it's going to be like my lowest Pokemon or my highest Pokemon. And like last year, I did not like warm up one day, and I regretted it because it was like some Pokemon they pulled out of the hat that was like in the upper register, and I was like, excuse me for a moment. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I think I'm good now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, sometimes we don't know. So with certain shows, you don't know what they're going to start with or what's going to happen that day.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't prepare. So if it's a show where you have a lot of range, you might warm up. But like there are instances where it's not good to warm up. Like if you're doing commercials or whatever, you want to do those auditions and those bookings like it's early in the morning and
Get that gravel.
get the gravel, and you don't want to warm up at all. You just want to be like, hey, you know, just whatever.
Yeah. That's true though.
I just rolled out of bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. It's what sells somehow. There's
Chocolate.
and car insurance. Sexy. I don't really warm up anymore. I'm really lazy, but my husband is like, he loves to warm up. He walks around the house just being, and he uses like a little straw thing, and I'm like, stop it. The straw phonation. Straw phonation is really helpful if your voice is starting to go. You take a little, like a coffee straw, like the tiny little straw, and you basically, you clamp down on it, and you hum, you phonate through it as hard as you can, and it actually, I don't know, he'd have to explain it to you. It's magic. It does something to your vocal cords. But no, yeah, the coffee trick. I remember years ago when all the engineers would be like, no, don't eat when you come in, and you'd be like, okay, yes, and I should have room temperature water, yes, whatever. And now you're like, that's all a lie, isn't it? You just didn't want to declick. You know?
And that's mostly the truth, actually. Yeah. They don't want to do any work in post, so they'll scare us with things.
Nowadays, I'm like, you have declicker, I can drink a coffee.
That's right.
We're gonna have to speed round these two, or we're not gonna.
All right.
finish.
We're gonna
All right, yes.
Luffy.
What is up, Luffy's?
How you guys doing today?
Good.
I want to say you guys are all really talented.
Thank you.
Great start.
So my question is it's pretty small. How did they pitch to you guys One Piece before you even heard of it?
That's so
Hey,
funny.
do you want to? They just put out auditions, and all of us scrambled for
There
it.
was an audition, and everybody auditioned.
Yeah.
Everybody auditioned.
And you knew, like, did they have to say, like, this is like this pirate kid, like, did they have to set, like,
It's
give you...
pirates. I heard it's pirates.
Yeah.
I heard it's probably gonna be long.
Okay.
We didn't know what that.
We did not know what that
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know what you was
We did not know what that
for the long run.
They undersold.
They undersold. They told me, you're Nami. And I was like, oh, fun. And they said, it's going to be a commitment.
Yeah.
And I thought,
Then they said, sucker.
You're gonna be committed.
No.
Nobody said that.
no.
Okay, I will say this now. This is occurring to me in this moment. In their defense, okay, you guys joined it. They were what, in Skypea?
We
Okay, at that, how many times has Oda gone, I think I'm going to be done in another couple of years? They probably thought it would only be a few hundred episodes, and then Oda was like, no, I got more in me. And now here we are. It's probably just him keeping going like, nah, I got more.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Luffy, it's down to you.
The last guest question.
Okay.
Last customer question.
Hello there. My name is Clark Chaos, and it's been a wonderful time to meet the wonderful cast of the One Piece characters. Rubies, Nami, and Brooklyn, and everyone else. So I've been watching Focus TV since I was like 12 years old. I'm 36 years old, and most of I have a question for all you guys.
Okay.
What is the most wonderful things you guys do when you guys are not acting today?
Did we do together or just in our life?
In our life.
In your life, or maybe when you guys are not acting.
What's your favorite?
I got super into airsoft in the last few months. Now I got a ghillie suit, man. I got a new gun coming in Monday, and I am going to dress as a bush next weekend, go to a military simulation, and shoot my friends. And genuinely, my favorite part is none of them know what I do for a living. And the one guy from the gun store who does know, every time I see him, I'm like, don't. Not here. They can't know.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. So don't tell nobody.
You will be the
That's right. When I'm not working, honestly, my favorite thing is 2 years ago we bought a house that I love, and I like to play in my house. And that is it. She's a mid-century, like 1965 old lady, and she's delightful. I call her Beverly. It's great. It's so great. I love to be there.
Oh my God. Have you ever for dinner?
I love hanging out with my family. I mean, that's a boring answer, but it's true.
No, it's not a boring answer.
She's a reader too.
And if I don't, my perfect little image is it's cold outside, there's a fire in the fireplace, I'm on my reading chair, my kid is with me, and we're both reading books.
That sounds really good, actually.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I love spending time with my kids, and what's been awesome lately is like my daughter's also a voice actor, and she's in Batwheels. She plays BB the Batgirl Cycle. She's also a singer, and she's also a composer. She wants to be a singer-songwriter. My husband's a composer. So it's weird because she's like a combination between the two of us. It's crazy. And my son loves anime. He loves anime. So he was not interested in like, sometimes you have directors that are like, is your child interested in like auditioning for this, And I would always ask him, and he would always say no. And then I asked him if he wanted to audition for an anime, and he was like, I think I do. So now he's interested, and so it's been really fun kind of sharing like that joy of that.
Too.
Did you hear that? That's crazy. Yeah, there's lots of crazy parallels here.
Yeah. What about you, Michael?
You mentioned
J. Michael.
the whole thing, yes, every time. It's funny you mentioned your daughter like singing and composing. I've started branching out and composing, and actually I can't say the name yet, but a game's coming out in 2025 that I contributed to the score. I really, really enjoy doing it. Yeah. They were just like, hey, do you want to? And I was like, okay. But my obsession now, it's like really, it's so insane to think that I do this because I'm not a guy that likes to leave the house very much. But my husband has got me full on into LARP, and we are. Wow. I mean, shut up, Colleen. Don't you judge me.
I want to be there. I want pictures.
It is so much fun. I'm a diviner, so I get to go to story staff and be like, I can't predict danger. And then like, there's demons coming. I'm like, friends, I've had a vision. It's so much fun. We camp out on it. We dress up. It is
We are not done with this.
You guys need to
so much fun. I love it. I should be there now.
This
My
is the
friends
best
are like,
question
hey,
you could have asked.
Michael, we got Ian shooting people. You're out there.
What?
Oh no, we're doing the same thing. Airsoft is military LARPing. It's the first milsim I did with a bunch of other anime fans sitting in military gear. I looked around and I went, oh, this is LARPing.
Yes, exactly.
My first time out to LARP though, my friends advised me to get like 20 hit points. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, because I'm a wizard, but maybe I should be able to fight.
Right,
and you kind of go, and you go a couple of rounds before you figure out that this is how I want to spec. And I got killed my very first encounter. I mean, before I got any hit in, I was like looking at like an inquisitor.
No, unfortunately,
she was like jingling, and she came at me, and I was like, 5. I'm like, dead. Completely dead.
All right, we do have some people out there with confused looks on their face about LARPing. So let's explain really quick before we wrap up what LARPing is.
LARP stands for Live Action Role Play, and it's like D&D without dice, and you're in costume.
So D&D is Dungeons and Dragons for the same people.
We're in Providence. Yeah, so it's basically like it's LARP. It's like there's a campground. All these people. It's like and there's like the game I do. There's like 500 people, and you're all part of different worlds. And you're like, I'm gonna be an elf from Recall the Fendall, or you're gonna be like a pirate. Or you're gonna be this. And like people, they go all out with their costumes, and it's there for 3 days. You're there for 3 days and 2 nights, and you're just there. And you walk in, and things start happening. You're like, I'm gonna go on this adventure and try not to get killed. You will get killed, and then you get to come back because you go and you meet death, and you have to like gamble to get back into life. It's this whole complex system, but it's really, really fun. And when I say I waste so much money on my outfit, I walk in, I'm like,
All right, that's all the time we got. A round of applause. But wait. Hold on 1 second. Wait. That's all the time we got here. But you can have all the time in your world if you go down to their tables.
That's right. That's where you're gonna be.
Yes, get an autograph, get a picture, get a selfie, and say hi.
Ask me about LARP.
A round of applause for the cast of One Piece.